Okay, let's freaking hope. First of all, let me know if I look okay. I'm still getting a fucking error on my YouTube end, but my Streamlabs looks fine. So, I don't know. I saw someone in the chat say it's 75 in Michigan right now. It's 77 here in Phoenix. That's weird. What is weather? Yeah, it's like super nice right now. Um, okay. It looks okay. My preview looks okay. I don't know. Oh, someone said mic check. Can you hear me okay? Do I sound all right? Yeah, okay. So it says excellent connection again, so I think we're good. Oh my God, I swear we need to finish this today. Okay, let me get this video pulled up. I had it pulled up, and then I closed the tab.
Been that way with my kids too.
And I don't remember exactly where we left off either. So we're just gonna jump to a point. We're more than halfway through, so that's good. It sounds weird. My mouth. Oh my God, I swear. Hold on. Freaking heck. One sec. This one? That's better, right? Does this sound better? How annoying. Yeah, my headphones weren't working. Technical difficulties. Um, yeah, I think you were coming through this mic. So, like, I had to unplug my headphones and then plug them back in, and then I guess it just, like, automatic switched over. It's better. Okay. Good, 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 good. Okay. I think we have things figured out now, right? Let's hope. Everything looks good on my end. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it's so stupid because it's like running through my voice mod, but I guess voice mod was like, I think you're going to use this microphone instead. Anyway, better than tornado watch news? Yikes. Stay safe, please. Okay, without further ado, let's get back to this here. I think I feel like the last thing she said, I remember her being like talking about how she's a grandmother, the girl on the left, the podcast host, and I was like, girl, how are you a grandmother? Yeah, so if you haven't caught up with what's going on here, this is the third stream that we've tried to watch this. My internet, my ISP was like out last week for like days for whatever reason. It kept going on and off. So hopefully that problem is fixed. I gave it a few days before trying to stream again. And I was going to stream this weekend, but I ended up having a busy weekend. We went paddleboarding, which was really fun. But my idea was to come back and stream, but I got a sunburn. And I don't know about you guys, but every time it was just like a minor sunburn because I forgot to put sunscreen on my forehead and on my nose. I was like red here and a little bit on my shoulders, which I did put sunscreen on my shoulders. It was just like, oh, okay. But like when I get sunburned, I get so tired. I came home and I passed out. I was like, I'm not streaming today. And then yesterday I had other stuff going on. But yeah. Is she one of those ladies that don't age? Like she's probably 50. I think she said she's 49 or something like that. But yeah, she said she's got a 10-year-old grandson. I'm like, God damn. Not only does she not age, I think she's been helped out by Botox and she clearly has lip filler, which no hate, because like, hi. Me too. But yeah. They had ISP issues too. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. They might have been just like upgrading something in my neighborhood and then it just was being stupid. But you saw marks on your back from a 2-year-old sunburn? That doesn't seem right. A day in the sunshine makes me sleepy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was also exhausted because like we were paddleboarding and it was so Wendy. Is Wendy here? MLM, no, are you here? Because I just said your name. Actually, no, I got the notification that Jen went live to talk about, I think, Sensi stuff. Like right as I clicked the live button too, I was like, damn it. So Wendy's probably there. Anywho. But Botox and possibly someone is a young mom. But even then, like, if you say that she's 50, she still looks so good for 50, right? Anyway, no, you're not late. We didn't even get started. I mean, unless you haven't watched the other two. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So since we've had to split this into 3 freaking parts, hopefully this is the last part. What I'm going to end up doing is, well, I'm finishing editing a video. I got through most of it today. I still have to do like sponsorship stuff. So within the week, it should be out. So while I'm waiting for sponsorship approval, I'm going to take these 3 streams and edit them into one cohesive, like watchable video. So that way everyone can watch it. Hey, pee. Oh my God, she's purring. Look at her. Look at her. Pee. Say hi, everybody. I'm Pee. What a good kitty. Okay, sorry. We can get to it now. Okay. Hopefully this is a decent place to start.
You don't continue being a creative and continue doing what breathes life into you.
Right.
So I'm trying to breathe some life back into me and see where that's going to come from. I'm not 100% sure. I'm leaving
that's
it open.
Okay. Girl, I'm going on 49 and I still
That's right. 49,
wonder.
yeah.
All the time.
There's plenty of time.
You just never know. Our grandson, our oldest grandson, lives with us here in Nashville. He's a competitive dancer.
No way.
Quinn, order a treat.
He just turned 10.
Treat yourself.
Like kind of what you're saying about all that, that's something we definitely want to instill in him.
Yeah.
You know, so he never loses himself. Because it's so easy to do. It is easy to do.
Yeah. Especially, I think that when you're meant to have kids, you're going to have them. But I am an advocate for people who are like, I'm not sure I want kids. I'm like, and that's okay. Because it was a lot at 21 to, not only did my body completely change, and that was a whole other thing, but it was like, I wanted to be this type of mom where she saw me dancing and she saw me in theater, and I wanted her to grow up in the theater.
Yeah.
And there's still time, but it was like, I didn't do any of that. And I don't want her
Quinn.
to become a mom
Both.
and think I have to throw all these pieces of me away. And so that's a big part of it too, is, you know, my daughter, I want her to, no matter her path, I want her to know like who you are and what you love matters, no matter if you're a mom or not.
Yes.
Just do what makes you happy. Be in your joy. And so that's a big factor in me trying all these things and, you know, trying to find what's my, you know, where's my zone and where I'm going.
Right. But that's the best way to teach her, is for her to witness that all in you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure she's what, 5, 6?
She is almost 8.
Oh, she's almost 8 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we moved here in 2022.
I think I'm going to cut like all this out when I do end up editing everything. Much like blah, blah, blah. Get to the interesting stuff. You can't. Oh, Double Dash. Is that what it's called? I usually use Uber Eats, so they let you bundle stuff. But anyway, good luck.
She was 5. So.
Oh, when she was in kindergarten.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just if you're bored right now, because I'm like totally bored listening to them talk about this, Aaron texted me after my stream went out the last time and basically told me like, no, it gets like juicy because Carissa's gonna start talking about haters and stuff. So, and I haven't watched that far into this, so I know it gets good again. So if you're feeling bored, stick around, stick it out, because apparently Aaron felt the need to tell me how juicy it gets at the end. So cool.
Oh yeah, she's 8. She's like a little sponge right now. She's seeing everything you're doing.
Oh yeah.
She's witnessing all of that.
Yes.
No, and I mean, would she wonder like why you were sad or why you were depressed like that last year or so?
Oh yeah. And it hit her pretty hard too, because
I was going to say, did she know her?
She
like,
knew
was she
her.
around her? Yeah.
Yes. And she was really the only person when she was with me, because we do every other week.
Okay.
Jessie Lee was the only other person my daughter had met, like through me. So it was really like she knew, you know, it's like when you go over to your mom and dad's house and you bring kids, like it's just a normal thing. It was kind of like that. Like, I'm like, we're not going home yet. We're going to Jessie Lee's, you know, she knew her, she'd play with her dogs. Like, she
Like she's our person too. Yeah, like
yeah,
this is part of your life.
right. So
Aw.
it was really that was hard too, just knowing that it affected her as well. And I didn't think twice that, she would grieve
Right.
her as well, but she did. And
Oh,
so
sure.
I've always been very honest with my daughter and
Mhm.
just tell her like, hey, I'm kind of sad today. And, mommy just really wants to rest.
Mhm.
And, is it okay if we just hang out at home?
Yeah, I think we were pausing this around. This is around the time when the stream ended last time, I think, because we did start talking about how Courtney Shepherd, like comparing her with Carissa and how each of them handled the grief of losing Jessie Lee. I feel like Carissa, the way she explains it anyway, sounds a lot more like responsible from a parenting perspective because, like, I mean, I'm not going to harp on this too hard because we already talked about it last stream, but yeah, Courtney, after Jessie Lee died, like within like a week of Jessie Lee passing away, she started saying that Jessie Lee was speaking through her daughter. Like she was going live and being like, "Yep, it's Jessie Lee." Like it's so weird. And it just brings me back to how I feel like so many people who were in Jessie Lee's inner circle like did not grieve. I don't want to say properly because everyone has their own like grieving methods, I guess, but like healthily. I don't know if that's a word, but like it's not healthy the way these people have processed their grief, and I think that, that manifests in Courtney for sure because she's still a hot mess. Carissa, I feel like, is a lot more responsible with her emotions, but I do also feel like, how I was saying last time too, that like the tools that she says she has to deal with stress and grief and depression and stuff, like I don't think they're healthy coping tools long term, but like they seem to be helping her now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Carissa sounds like a rational person, at least partially, as opposed to making the shrug. I mean, anyone sounds rational when they're put up next to Courtney Shortney, dude. Because, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Aaron, you're not late. I'm early. Yeah, if you guys are just jumping in, I had it scheduled for an hour and 15 minutes from now, but my husband came home early. And quite honestly, like, I've been at this computer basically all day editing, and I was like, I just kind of want to get it over with now that my husband's home. So, plus, like, I didn't want to just be waiting around and being lazy and stuff. So then, like, after I get off this stream, I can go do family stuff and whatever. I don't know. It just worked out better this way. My husband's never home this early. He just happened to be home early today. But anyway, oh, lasagna. That's it. Stream's over. I'm on my way to Aaron's house. I'm just kidding. But, like, actually. Oh, Aaron, I think I might be coming to Vegas this summer, like, for real this time. But, like, I'm going with friends, so, but I still want to see you. Anyway, okay, we can talk about that later. But, yeah, we'll have to have dinner or something. I don't know the dates. July. I don't know. Okay.
And she's like, yeah, sure. She's,
Yeah.
she, and that was something we dealt with before when I was in my deep depression from the separation, is I would
Right.
just tell her, mommy's kind of sad right now. And, she's asking to play. I'm like, how about we, play this card game? Because I can sit in bed and do it. Or,
Right,
like it's
right,
just
exactly.
finding a way to kind of still connect with your kids, but also give yourself
Yes.
space to be human.
For sure. I think it's important for them to understand too, and being honest with them based on, even what she's seeing. If you weren't honest, she'd know that just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I think that that's so important. A lot of people disagree, but I've always been
Yeah.
that way with my kids too, because we've went through it, and my grandkids, because they have to know that they're getting the truth from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're their person. They trust you. So it's so awesome that you're doing that with her.
It's good that Carissa's doing that with her, but then, like, you juxtapose that same exact parenting, I don't know, with Courtney, and it's like, girl, like, one of these people is being a lot more responsible, and it's not Courtney. Just a voice. Thank you for donating $5 hairs. To deal with life stressors, I think you need to be a little more tethered to reality than MLMers are. Just a thought. Love your live streams. Thank you very much. I don't know if Carissa is an MLMer. Erin might know. She's here, but I don't think she was before this. And I don't think, it's not like she joined Prove It while she was Jessie Lee's assistant. I don't think she was. Although Jessie Lee didn't she like sign up her dogs for Prove It? So it's like, it almost seems like, I don't know, would she have really needed Carissa at that point though? Wouldn't have, you would think it would be like pointless. Maybe she like could have like put her under someone else to help someone. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But like, I just wonder if even like if Carissa wasn't actively doing it, if she like made her sign up anyway, just to somehow, I don't know. Just a thought. Don't know.
Yeah.
And she's going to respect that so much as she gets older.
I hope so.
Yes, she will.
It's like, you know, I try to think of things a little too far ahead sometimes, you know, tuning in the anxiety and OCD. It's like, I know all of the guilt and shame that I had to break through, and still some days I have to break through. Yes. And if I can eliminate as much of that as possible for when she's a mother, like that is enough for me. For her to just know, like, I have space to be human. I don't have to be perfect on mom all the time.
I was wondering, Liz, if she did sign Carissa up for Prove It, it would have, like, she probably would have been like, oh, I'll pay for it. I just, like, essentially needing to make an account for you to, like, level up. That sounds like a video game. To, like, rank someone else up, or I don't know. Like, I feel like that's a very plausible thing that could have happened. But I don't think Carissa, even if she has a Prove It account, I would assume that she's not, like, in it, you know? Like, actually working it. Like, I don't know.
Can be, you know, I can be slow mom. I can be, you know, heat up mac and cheese mom. I can be, you know, Martha Stewart mom. Like, you could be, you know, you have space to be, just be. And my mom was a single mom too, but
right, Liz, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of our communication styles differ, where I knew my mom was stressed out, but it felt like it was me.
Your fault. Yes.
Yeah. And you know, my mom did the best she could. I have access to unlimited information. I have access to therapists. I have access to YouTube with psychologists who post, you know, here's how to understand this and that. Like, I have unlimited access to everything. I understand that my mom didn't. But, you know, that is the difference that I'm trying to make for her, is just to understand, like, you know, you might not want to say, hey, mom's having a panic attack because I have anxiety disorder. But it's like, you know, mommy needs it to be quiet for just like 5 minutes. Let's set a timer. And, you know, figuring that out. And then for her, I'm hoping it's just second nature. You know, like, she doesn't have to feel like she has to make up all these things.
Well, and she's learning, like, tools. You know, you're saying, okay, 5-minute timeout. You know, maybe she'll say that later, regardless of what it is, if she needs that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have no clue even how to do let me just breathe.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know I didn't until way too late. But finally, you know, finally.
Yeah. And it makes us who we're meant to be. Like, I don't hold anything against my mom anymore. You know, that was a big thing for me when I was around 25. And I really was like needing all the help I could get with therapy and everything else. I realized, like, you know, I can either not forgive her and not speak to her. Right. Or I can just understand, like, that's the best she could do. And I want her in my life and move forward with that. You know, I don't hold it.
And she hopefully did the best she could in the moment, you know, with whatever tools she had or whatever people she had around her.
This is off topic, but Laura, this is a good question. She said, I love your lives. Is that oil show still going? Can we have a live roasting sometime? No, I don't. Like, they stopped posting. I think there are a few episodes we didn't actually watch. But there, last I checked, I'll pull it up. I'll let this keep playing. Yeah, man, I really did love roasting that oil show, but yeah, no, they're like they went radio silent. So I'm like, did somebody quit? Ooh, I don't know.
Right.
And I think when we're younger, it's really hard to look at it like that.
Totally.
You know, we just think, you know, we automatically, you know, we were the victim because mom and dad, or dad, whoever's in the family, you know, just wasn't really present, or they weren't what we thought that they should be. So we just carry that resentment for so long. Mm-hmm. That's good. So she's in your life.
Oh
now?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's taking care of my grandparents now. So she's in a totally different season for herself.
Yeah.
It's been over a year since their last upload. Their last upload was February 6th, 2024. FYI. It's been over a year. So who knows what's going on with that?
Yes. Yes.
And, you know, it's tough. We still have our days. And I'm the middle child. So I'm the one. How many kids do you have, if you don't mind me
I have
asking?
2 girls.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're 30 and almost 24.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
my mom has my older sister who's 3 years older than me, and then me. And then I have a 15-year age gap from my baby sister. And
all girls, though.
a 16-year age gap from my brother. And he's the first boy born in our family in 41 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So she started over, but I still had that middle child flavor. I guess we just knew.
Yeah.
So her and I still butt heads, but it's a conscious decision, you know, and there's no shame if you go the other way. If you just go, I can't. I need to just be separate. That's okay too, you know.
How's your daughter's dad? Are you guys good now?
You know, I'd say we're more in the we've figured out what's worked for us.
Mm-hmm. Civil, at least.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. He's got a fiance, and I think she's wonderful. My daughter loves her. So that is like a blessing.
That's huge. Yes.
Yeah. For me, it's like I notice the difference when he's in a relationship and not. And this one feels authentic because it's not the first one that, you know, since we've been separated for 5 years or so, or 6 years or so.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I'm thinking the same thing.
This one feels real. And I'm happy for them because I want my daughter to have that example. And
the first part of this podcast was so juicy. It was so good. And like, I feel like if Carissa was someone who like had a following, that people like actually cared about her personal life, like no offense, Carissa, but like, who are you? Basically, the only reason we know who she is because of her connection to Jessie Lee. So it's like, I can't imagine this podcast having so many viewers and being like, yes, I would like to hear about this woman and her ex and her kid. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too judgmental, but to me, I'm like, snooze fest, you know? But like I said earlier, Aaron told me it gets juicy towards the end about haters and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, Elaine, I don't know, because I just went and looked on their last video, and there were 3 comments, all from the same person, and that person said, can't wait for season 4, because they were on season 3, episode 6, and then they never posted another episode. So I don't know, they might have at the end been like, all right, we'll see you guys for season 4, but 6 episodes for a season seems really short. Anyway, I don't know. I have my notifications turned on for that oil show, so if they ever come back, I'll know. But in Aaron, we trust. True.
And it's not on my agenda. I mean, I'm not saying I won't have love. I'm not exiling it, but it's not on my agenda.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I'm working on me.
Yeah. So it's good that she gets that example. And you know, we switch days if there's something going on his side, and you know, it works for us. You know, we're not best friends, but you don't have to be sometimes.
No, just to be civil and just respect each other, I think is huge.
Right. I agree. You know, we don't all have to be, you know, these blended families and
going. I don't know how often that really works.
Oh, were they, Quinn? I don't know.
People say it does, but
not for me. I'm an astrology girly. I'm a Cancer. I need my space. Okay. Yeah. If I'm done with you, I'm done.
Right. Move along.
Yeah. Like, we're good. We had our time.
Yes, Melissa.
So what do you have going on now? So what's in the plan?
Right now, I've started my own business in November. It was really to just free up my mind to be more creative.
Now, when you say you started your own business, are we talking 1099 contractor type of business, or are we talking like you actually started a business? I don't know. We can lurk after this if she doesn't get into it.
So I had to take a step back from being a personal assistant, executive assistant, because that basically takes all of my energy and soul.
Yes. Yeah, right.
So I started a cleaning business, and I love it. It's my own schedule. It's my own,
your own time,
everything. Yes. And my clients are incredible.
That's very Kelsey Ray of her.
It was really just like, at first it was just so I could pay my bills and like mentally heal from everything.
Right.
And it just became my business. So I'm doing that, and I'm hoping to continue to grow it. I'm not ready for it to end just yet, but the trick worked. My brain feels a little bit more active. My creative juices are flowing. And so I'm stepping back into acting and trying to find my way in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, that's amazing.
She's so genuine. Yeah, I'm sure that cleaning business isn't MLM related, right? Unless she's like buying all Melaleuca products or something, or like thieves, Young Living Thieves shit, which I don't know. Maybe she could. I mean, that's a possibility, but I want to believe that this girl has enough of a brain in her beautiful little head that she doesn't follow in Jessie Lee's footsteps in that way. I feel like if you're going to get involved with someone like Jessie Lee, as close as she was, I feel like you've probably seen some shit in the world of MLM, and I want to believe that she'd be like, yeah, no, fuck this. I'm not getting into that. But yeah, I don't know. Norwexing it up, exactly. I always forget about Norwex, dude. Oh my god, is that still a thing? You never really hear about it anymore with their moldy, disgusting silver cloths.
Thank you. And part of me wanting to be more active on social media is to break through that barrier of being afraid of being seen. And what better way to do that than just going and being your
put yourself
self
out there.
Yes. Yeah. So that's definitely a huge part of it. Of course, I want to make an impact, and I don't want to just be more noise. Right. But that they all connect, and I'm just trying to work on me and finding that groove that works for me.
Yeah. When Jessie Lee, did you experience, being that she was a public figure,
here we go,
were there like a lot of haters and things like that?
Oh my goodness, yes.
I'm just so curious now that you're telling me so much about her. Like, how would she handle that? Like,
I can tell you, she would get on a live stream and yell at us. I'm really interested to hear what Carissa says, but in my experience, she'd be on a live stream, and if there's a hater in the chat, she'd start yelling. In one of my videos, I think it was before her cancer diagnosis, but during the entire Colombia trip, me and I don't remember who all was in there, but it was myself and a few other anti-MLM creators. We were in the chat. I know someone like called her a bitch or something, which is not cool. I think the rest of us were being genuine and being like, yeah, so are you gonna like own up to kidnapping your team? Basically, I don't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, I have that all documented on one of my videos about Jessie Lee, because I like screen recorded the chat and everything, and it was funny for the most part. But she was like, she got so mad. So anyway, she was so unnecessarily mean and lied so much. I only know that from the dream. I mean, the dream was one thing, but she was really nasty outside of that too. Like, I think the dream was just a blip in who Jessie Lee was, because like we saw that side of her a lot. There were a few times when she definitely overstepped. Who, Jessie Lee? Yeah. Oh, definitely. Just get on a live and yell and gaslight and try to rewrite history from her own damn videos. Yeah. She would literally, like, for the Columbia situation, she got on, and the reason any of us like freaked out about it is because of Jessie Lee's own words. We're like, hey, what you're saying, like, that sounds like straight up kidnapping and like false imprisonment or something, like what? And then when we all started talking about it, suddenly it was like, I never said this, I never said that, I never said that. And I think maybe it must have been because that was my number one in my top fails of 2023 video, was the Colombia trip with Jessie Lee. And I believe I had a little montage in there of her saying something, and then like on the next live stream she was like, no, I didn't say that, and then I would put the proof and then like juxtapose the two together. So there were a lot of moments like that with Jessie Lee where it's just like very like literally trying to rewrite history and being like, nope, you guys are just haters and trolls. She tried to delete that live stream, the original Columbia live stream, but like, it's on the internet. The internet's forever. We all have it. So I have so much black hair on my shirt from Pippi. My shirt says, you had me at meow. So I guess she's allowed to do that. Anyway. Who said that happened? You did, lady. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was her. Mm-hmm. JLW fighting haters always gave the that's my opinion. yeah. I would say, I mean, even worse than that, really, because she was just so, like, confidently bigoted, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, she didn't give a shit. But at the same time, I really do think that Jessie Lee believed everything that came out of her mouth. I really do. First shed from love. Yes. Okay, let's see. How does Carissa think? How is she going to explain how Jessie Lee would handle us haters? And again, keep in mind, throughout her entire cancer and her diagnosis and everything, us haters, like, we are the haters that she's talking about here. Us haters are the ones who really ultimately, like, saw her being in the most unhealthy state of her life. Even before her cancer diagnosis, we were all the ones to express concern and be like, shit, I hope she pulls her head out of her ass and starts taking this seriously. She obviously never did. But we're really the ones who, like, wanted better for her when the rest of everyone in her life was just, like, pumping her full of shit, you know? And coffee up her butt. So... like that kind of shit, pumping her full of that kind of shit, and like ozone. But yeah, just using her for money and clout in her final days. And meanwhile, the rest of us were like, Jessie Lee, do chemo, listen to your doctors, please. No. But oh my God, Catherine, she was such a bigot. I don't remember anything off the top of my head right now, but I do remember her having a lot of moments that were pretty racist. I think especially, like, towards Aviram, her boyfriend, the married boyfriend she had, because he was Israeli, and she would go on these, like, long, like, diatribes about just, like, stereotypical Israeli men versus, like, other kinds of people, and, like, I don't know, I don't remember exactly. I'm sure someone in the chat is going to have a very bright memory of something fucked up that Jessie Lee said, but yeah, she was pretty fucking bigoted. Like, she had a lot of moments that were just like, why the fuck would you say that? Anyway.
What?
Nothing. It was just, yeah.
Didn't acknowledge it.
Oh, really?
No, actually, she is just the strongest person I've ever met. I'm sure in some ways.
You're really gonna sit here and be like, nope, she didn't acknowledge us all. We have video proof of her yelling at us on a live stream. Like, please. But okay.
It affected her, but she would like watch it sometimes and she'd laugh and she had like
she would laugh. I mean, well, no, she would watch our stuff. That is so fascinating to me. Okay, I mean, we all knew that Jessie Lee would watch anti-MLM content because the first video I made about her, she commented on it. But that was back when I used to blur people's faces. So I had her face blurred, and I think her comment was something like, "Hi, I love this. Unblur my face, la la la," or something like that. I'm just like, okay, yeah, no. Meanwhile, of course, we know that she watched Chelsea's content because she sent her a cease and desist, trying to get her to shut up. So Carissa's gonna sit up here and be like, Jessie Lee didn't care. She was so strong. Sometimes she would watch and laugh. Okay, then why are you trying to shut people up legally? You know, like, she did that. That is the first cease and desist letter, I'm pretty sure, that Chelsea received. She fucking framed it. She still has it. in all of her videos in the background, as a point of pride. But now I think it's probably still kind of like a strange memorial piece to Jessie Lee in a way. But that's my point. Like, no, don't sit up here like you are the second coming of Jessie Lee. You're trying to rewrite history right now, and it's just she had me blocked for years. I have a private profile. Yeah, I was blocked too. I was blocked on TikTok, which I never like interacted with her on TikTok. She went out of her way to block me on TikTok. And I know I'm blocked on Instagram. She didn't block me on Facebook because my Facebook is pretty private. Daffodilly, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Okay, let's play the Pop-Tart song. And then we'll get back to it. Here we go.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
This is Pippi. It's not Pop-Tart. Also, she was purring that whole time. She's still purring. Yep, she's just vibrating away. Anyway, thank you, Daffodilly. That was so kind. I appreciate it. Yeah, look at that, Melissa. You have a Pop-Tart. I do need to make new Pop-Tarts for like 3-year members and stuff too. So I'll do that eventually. I'm wondering, like, I should maybe add my other cats in those too. But yeah, I don't know. Meow tart. Okay.
Like this roaring like cackle. Like she
Really?
would just laugh and laugh. And I was like, I watched it and I got angry and you're laughing. Like, how are you so mentally strong?
Right.
But
Right.
most of the time, you know, she knew it existed. Every now and then she'd, you know, watch this or that. And most of the time she'd just laugh, or she'd be like, I don't know how they have that much time because like I don't have any.
Like I
room."
wish I did.
Yeah, she
I mean, this is my job. So the same 8 hours that these people had to go do generally good work for society, I just sit here on my ass and I talk shit. That's my job. So that's how I have time to do it. I think it's the same for like Chelsea and basically anyone who's like, how do you have the time? I mean, aren't you the people who are always preaching time freedom and working from home and shit? That's what I'm doing. That's how I have the time. Come on, man. Anyway.
would be like, well, do I have room on my schedule to blah blah blah? And I'm like, no, you really don't, because like you're booked. You don't have time to respond. Like
Yeah.
she handled it very well with grace. And
Grace.
I think at the end of the day, it's just, you know, the way you view it. Like
Right.
any press is good press, or, you know,
What they say.
it's just
All
more,
right, Jessie Lee.
and it worked in her favor a lot of the times, which is kind of funny because when people are trying to
That's what they
hate
all
on you,
say.
they're trying to bring you down. And a
Right.
lot of times it would backfire. Like she did this podcast with
Here
her
we go.
partner,
Jay Marie.
and the haters were like getting everyone to watch it, I guess.
You mean you're trying to tell me you think the reason that people listen to the Dream podcast is because of us haters? Wasn't the Dream like one of the bigger podcasts like on like podcast platforms and stuff when it was coming out? Like, it's a great podcast. I got nothing to do with the success of that damn podcast, all right? I don't know, it's just so weird. Like, she did this podcast interview and the haters were trying to get people to watch it. I don't know. We didn't have to do any of that shit. Maybe they're talking about the live stream, because if you guys didn't know, I'm sure there's someone in here who doesn't know this lore, but she went and did an interview with Jane Marie for The Dream a few months before she passed away, and she live streamed while she was doing the interview with Jane Marie. She live streamed it, which is so rude because she didn't tell Jane Marie she was doing that. Like, it's an edit, like the podcast is edited. It's not something like this that we're watching right now where they're just kind of having a conversation and that's it. The Dream is very, very like well produced. Like, it took a few months to produce that episode before it came out. Like, a lot of work goes into it. So it was very, very rude for Jessie Lee to just be like, and I'm going to go ahead and live stream this to everybody. And it's like, whoa. And she ended up freaking out and like being a bitch to Jane Marie, honestly. And yeah, if you're gonna say we tried to get people to watch it, aka we covered it in our content, like, is that what you're trying to say? Yep, we did, because it was a fucking train wreck, dude. I'm sorry, Katie. I'm doing this early. The Dream is not a hater podcast. I mean, to those people, though, they would probably say it was. Jessie Lee didn't know that The Dream was, like, anti-MLM. That was, like, the whole... Oh, I'm trying to remember. The whole first season of that episode or podcast, I think, was about MLMs, if I'm remembering correctly. And then they had a second season, I think, was about, like, wellness and stuff. Unless I'm mixing it up with a different really good podcast also. But, no, I think that's what it was. But, yeah, like, it was very anti-MLM. But I think what Jessie Lee... And Carissa's the one who set it up for her, right? Like, what probably happened is they just saw that it was a really popular podcast and saw the numbers and saw how many followers they had and saw Jane Marie and was just like, oh, wow, she's got a lot of followers. Like, this will be great for publicity, without really even listening to one singular episode to find out what it was actually about. So, yeah. Jane Marie was so nice. She is a nice person. I've talked to her a couple times. But, she was so nice to Jessie Lee, even after she found out that Jessie Lee was live streaming, because I think she found out like towards the end of the interview, right? I think she did find out. But even then she was just like, whatever, let's just like get this done. She was very graceful. You want to talk about handling shit with grace? Jane Marie handled shit with grace. The first season was just about Tupperware? No. It was about other MLMs too, wasn't it? Maybe it just, like, focused heavily on Tupperware. But, yeah, I remember the second season, the self-help, that's right. Carissa may absolutely have set it up. This might be a defense mechanism. Well, I specifically remember this being, like, a talking point with it. Like, her stupid assistant didn't even check to see what kind of podcast it was. She just signed her up for it, which makes sense. Like, that is the kind of thing that Carissa would be scheduling for Jessie Lee. Eclectic Me Mama, you're not late. I'm early. I'm sorry. Yeah, Canadians, I hope you guys have been voting today. I wonder if Carissa got in trouble with JL for that. Maybe. Perhaps. Like, because she really went on there thinking she was, like, talking herself up. She was on there to, like, I don't know, be like a celebrity guest, basically. And what it really was Jane Marie was covering Jessie Lee, like, as a MLM guru, you know? Like, her toxic traits and stuff. Which would have been really obvious if any of them had listened to even one singular episode of The Dream. You're voting so hard. I love that. JL super threw Carissa under the bus for that one. Yeah, I feel like I remember something about it. So maybe she said it at the end of the live stream. It's been so long since I watched that part with Jessie Lee, the live stream she did with Jane Marie. But yeah, she was like, once she got off the live stream, she was like talking shit for a while too. So maybe that's where she mentioned it. I don't know. So maybe Carissa is just like being super defensive, or like not even being defensive. She's just kind of like leaving out a lot of, I guess, the facts, you know, just to like preserve her own reputation. I don't know. Jesus purse. The delusions of that live stream. Yes, it was quite delusional. Oh, Jesus purses. You're saying that was a Dream episode? I don't remember that. It's been a really long time since I listened to it. I really should give it another listen. It was very good when it came out. I'm sure it holds up today. But okay, let's keep going. Yeah, go ahead. Defend this hater podcast to us and how it totally wasn't your fault, Carissa.
Oh,
Well, her the woman's podcast that she did, that episode ranked number 2 in the country. Like,
yes.
I'm like, this is backfiring.
That's
you guys don't
awesome.
understand.
No, that episode, it was like not good. It was not good for her. You think that was backfiring? It was number 2 podcast episode in the country, and it was like negative towards her. And you're gonna sit there and call this a win? I'm sorry. Girl, sit down. What a fucking joke. Let's talk about Delulu for a minute. You know, I've been giving Carissa so much, like, space here, I think, just to be like, okay, she's got a good head on her shoulders. Yeah, maybe her tools that she's using to, like, cope with all of this aren't the most healthiest that they possibly could be. But, you know, she seems like she's not super delusional. Nope, you know what? I take it all back. I think she's a delusional mess. She really, truly believes that all turned out for the better for her and Jessie Lee. Please. Seriously? Yeah, not all press is good press. I absolutely agree.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So she handled it really well. And that's something that I'm still.
Didn't that episode come out after she passed away? I swear it did. Right? Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, you can't say she handled it well before, like, she never got to hear the podcast. I feel like she's feeding so much misinformation to this podcast host, this poor woman. She's just sitting here believing everything that Carissa's saying. And it's like, wait, no. You don't get to rewrite history like this. Exposure. She spent hours trashing another woman. Who, Jessie Lee? Yeah, I don't know. You think it came out after she passed away? I don't remember. I swear it did, but I don't know.
Still learning to do is to be seen and
That's
not be
tough.
afraid of who's going to judge me. And
Right.
yeah, that's a big
That's
one.
why I had that question because, you know, I think of, like, even my grandson in the dance world. He, like, is ridiculously amazing, like, in 2 years. Like, won national dance honor, mini national honor dancer last year in Las Vegas. Like,
Wow.
and all the things. And I mean, he has social media, not that he does, that we do, but
It did.
some of the
Okay.
hate that even he's 10.
Okay, yeah. You guys are saying in the chat that it did come out after she passed away. See, that's what I thought. I feel like Carissa was so far removed from the MLM space and anti-MLM space, she probably only heard JL's version of all the drama. Probably. Yeah, because it seems like she wasn't in MLMs before, isn't in MLMs now, so, and all she saw was our faces on Jessie Lee's phone whenever she decided to entertain herself with hate videos, which is also weird. Like, I don't know, maybe some people can, like, sit there and watch hate shit about themselves. I can't do it. I mean, I don't want to say I can't do it, but, like, I probably, every time I've ever tried to do it, I get, like, irrationally angry. So I just prefer to not pay attention to those things because, yeah, it's, like, not good for your mental health. That's how I see it anyway. Like, sometimes certain content creators will, like, watch hate vid, like, H3. Like, please, that's a fucking mess. You watch Ethan trying to react to Content Cop. Oh my god, it is a disaster. Like, people should not be making content about watching hate videos about themselves. Like, it just seems so irresponsible. Anyway, the fact that Jessie Lee apparently would do that just for funsies, it's just kind of like, that's not normal. It sounds unhealthy. It came out September 2023. Was it after because she passed away, I want to say it was like September 16th or like 18th or something like that. I don't remember exactly. So it might have been like, I don't know. I mean, she passed away that day, but she was in the hospital for a week before that or something like that. I don't know. I just can't imagine working all the way up to my deathbed. What is that money even for? I understand there was a ton of denial in there, but it's just awful. It is sad. It's very sad. She didn't see it that way. She saw it as she's just going to continue working like she always does because she was certain she was going to beat cancer. Obviously, she didn't. Days after the debut of this season, Jessie Lee Ward, who was featured in episodes 1 and 9, passed away after a short battle with cancer. After the okay, so she may have gotten to hear episode 1, but probably not episode 9. Did she drop all 9 episodes all at once, or were they coming out like weekly? I don't remember. She leaked the full interview. Yeah, that's what we were saying. The interview, yeah, but like she didn't. I don't think she got to hear like the full actual like edited version of it. But yeah, what a mess.
The hate that he gets sometimes. I mean, now mind you, it's probably 90%.
she talking about her
He's
grandson?
everything amazing and then some, and then
Her grandson's 10. The hate he gets? Who's hating on a 10-year-old dancer? What the fuck? Or am I just like forgetting what she was talking about? I'm pretty sure she was talking about the hate that her grandson gets. Her 10-year-old competitive dancer grandson. Like, what? Holy hell.
yeah, you know, your little 10% of like shitheads all the
Right.
time. But it just made me think of that. If you took anything from her with that, because you said you were wanting to get back into theater and,
Yeah.
you know, do things like that. And I think it's tough.
True, Aaron.
I think so too, and I think I kind of transmute it into, if I wasn't meant to do something, there would be no resistance. There would be no like voices in the background or
Right.
you know, people jealous or whatever word they
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. None of us were jealous of Jessie Lee. Trust me. No. None of us were jealous. But you can go ahead and keep thinking that's why we were covering her. Honestly, before the cancer situation, Jessie Lee was a hot mess, and we couldn't look away from her. We covered her because she was entertaining, she was loud and outspoken, and quite honestly, easy content. And she would always get views. Like, I'm just being straight up here. That's why we covered her. When the cancer thing started, suddenly there was this whole new side to Jessie Lee, and suddenly it turned into like concern for us and just like chronicling this wild roller coaster. It like once the cancer stuff kicked in, every reason we had to talk about Jessie Lee before, that shit was out the window. Like, suddenly she's dealing with a deadly cancer. We had been watching her just wither away for months at this point. Certainly not jealousy on that end. At that point, I think it was probably more of like a fascination. Just being like, or I think for some of us even too, maybe making that content was kind of like a cry for help, that hopefully she would see someone somewhere say, Jessie Lee, please, like, listen to your doctors. I'm sure some people felt that way. For me, I know it was a lot of like wanting to chronicle, like, because it was very dangerous. Like, the information, she was spreading so much misinformation about cancer. And to me, that's where I think a lot of my fascination and like desire to continue covering her came from, was the misinformation she was spreading. But sure, Carissa, yeah, it's just because we were jealous. Yeah. Like, holy shit. But even before the cancer thing, none of us were jealous. Like, she was just a hot mess. Some people, especially in the world of anti-MLM, but you could even say in influencer land too, like, some people are just really easy to make content about because it's just non-stop, like, something new every day to talk about. Yeah. That was Jessie Lee to the anti-MLM world. She was just another influencer that was so easy to make content about. So I don't think I could have handled Jessie Lee. She was such a liar. She really was. She was a super mega liar. Y'all had to counter all the misinformation she touted on the platform. Oh, definitely. For me, that was the biggest part of it. Mixed with, you know, the fascination of, because I'm like really, I really am fascinated by the human body and like medical stuff. Like, I could never be a doctor myself or a nurse or anything like that, but I'm fascinated by that stuff, as sad as Jessie Lee's situation was. So now, if you want a reason why we were all like clinging on to Jessie Lee for content, it wasn't because we were jealous. It was because, quite frankly, she was, I don't know if low-hanging fruit would be the right thing to say, but she was just an endless hole, like a deep hole that you could just like spiral down into, and it was just new shit all the fucking time. She was always so angry and was always willing to pop off. Right. And we love that. Right. Lauren, just like I'm jealous of Kelsey Ray. Yeah, we're all obviously so jealous of Kelsey Ray. Like, holy shit. Yeah. I personally would not want Jessie Lee Ward's life at all. I mean, me either. Like, she didn't have kids and stuff, which is fine for plenty of people don't want to have kids. I think Jessie Lee did want kids. But, like, for me, I'm like, I have 2 kids, and that's what I've always wanted to be a mom. So, like, living the life that Jessie Lee was living, just, like, constantly go all the time. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I enjoy my serenity too much to do that kind of shit. So, anyway... Did a lot of people talk about JLW because she claimed to be the #1 network marketer? Yeah, that's probably part of it too. She was she's very sure of herself. She was very confident. And she would say shit like that all the time. So, yeah, she's just really easy to cover. Like, that's really all it comes down to. Period.
I want to use NBA, whatever. I would think that it would just, you know... It wouldn't feel... Authenticity makes ugly people really angry.
Oh, yeah, she was so authentic.
Mm-hmm. And
Guys, we're all really ugly, and Jessie Lee was the most authentic person in the world. Like I said, I think Jessie Lee absolutely believed everything she said, and I don't think that she thought she was lying. I really think that she believed the shit she would say. I really do. So, yeah. JLW was the gift that kept on giving to y'all. She really was. And I don't want to say that about her cancer because that's fucked up. But she really, even with that, the amount of misinformation, all the crazy shit she was doing, it was just nonstop. Self-awareness 0. Her having dogs instead of kids was the only relatable thing for me. Yeah, her love for the dogs was pretty relatable.
I think that if I'm in a room where there's none of that, I'm either like on my highest vibration, they can't reach me, or like, you know, it's just
like, shit, am I not making an impression at all? Yeah.
Oh my God, Quinn, you're right. Yeah, she literally said that this was just an act. I'm not actually like this in real life. She had bosslee. Bosslee was like her alter ego, and that's the person she would put forward. But then she would also say, like, no, Jessie Lee, like, without bosslee, like, I'm actually really shy, and I'm actually blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, bosslee was a facade. I forgot all about that. That's a good point. Can someone make this woman live in reality? It's been a year and a half, and she hasn't faced reality yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's just part of, like... you know, okay, this side of this world, it exists. So if I want this, I have to have both. And I have to figure out how to have them both. And to me, the end of that road is worth having both, because it's where my, you know, I don't know where my life is going to lead in theater and acting and performing, but I know how I feel, and it's worth it.
Right. No, it's amazing, and you're beautiful, and now you've had all these experiences already.
Thank you.
You need to make sure you're out there talking about it for sure.
Yeah, and just spreading her message. I promised her I would. I said, I thank you for sharing your magic with me, and I'll spread it everywhere I go. So I'm trying to spread the magic. I'm trying to share it.
Well,
I mean, the magic, first of all, magic isn't real, you idiot. Read a book. If you know where that's from, 10 points. Gold star. But the magic that she's spreading is all just like delusional bullshit. It really is. If there's anything that Jessie Lee would want in her afterlife, is to like leave people behind who are going to continue spreading bullshit, you know? And I'm not going to sit here and say that Jessie Lee was all bad, because she definitely had some moments that were relatable, and like, I mean, she's human. But ultimately, like, you really can't like bury the bullshit with her because there was so much of it.
You are.
Thank you.
God, I could ask you like 5,000 different questions about her. Now I'm like intrigued. I'm like, all right, when we're done, I have to definitely look her up and read about her.
Well, hopefully she like found some anti-MLM content, dude, because I feel like if she did, she might not have posted this podcast episode though. Or she would have at least posted a disclaimer and been like, actually I found out that this girl's like a total fucking scammer. But I don't know. This lady, for all we know, could be just as delusional. So I don't know. I don't know anything about this podcast host. She could be like a conspiracy theorist or something. I don't know. In my opinion, if you're in a room with a lot of haters, maybe it's not a reflection. It's not a reflectional on you being a good person / doing good things, and more of your lack of an ability to choose good friends and company. Yeah. I wonder if anyone chose to forego medical cancer treatment because of JLW's advice pre-death scare. Oh, I guarantee. I absolutely guarantee. And she's the one who was taking that advice from other people too. She had people all over TikTok like commenting on her stuff and sending her DMs and stuff and being like, giving her woo-woo advice, you know? That's a lot of the reason why I think she didn't end up doing chemo, because she had so much external validation on that choice, because she really chose to live in an echo chamber, you know? And a hyperbaric one. Good God, this is as bad as that Danielle Miller podcast episode where they never challenged her. I don't know if I ever saw that. Interesting. I'm sure she influenced people against doctors, yeah. I want to believe that this podcast host, like, has at least a little bit of a brain and can be like, oh shit, like, this lady wasn't this, like, magical wizard that Carissa's making her out to be. She wasn't. She thought she was. She wasn't, though. Yeah, and all the wellness MLM people sending her free shit. Yep. She got, like, a bunch of frankincense and essential oils and stuff for free from someone she knew who did doTERRA. Yeah. Like, all of the MLM stuff that supposedly helps cure cancer, like, people were sending it to her for free. Yeah, I forgot about that, but yeah.
And just...
Yeah.
She's left her mark, that's for sure.
I agree with that.
On TikTok and see her last TikTok. It is.
Okay.
No, it's so sad.
It'll make you cry.
Yeah, it's sad. If I remember it correctly, I think it's the one where she's like, because at the very end of the last live she did, the one where she's in the the hotel where she couldn't fucking sleep in a bed because she was in so much pain. She was saying goodbye in like a bunch of different languages or something. And then I guess someone must have went and posted that TikTok, and I don't think Jessie Lee posted it. I don't know why she would do that. Like, because she wasn't thinking she was going anywhere. It is very sad though, because people are like, see, she knew her time was up and it was time for her to go so the rest of us could become our full potential, like all the dumb shit that Kelsey Ray was saying. It is a sad video though, like, all things considered, it's very sad. Yeah, this isn't really an interview. She's not really asking any questions, just facilitating a story time. Yeah. Oh, she does play it at the end of the podcast. Thank you, Aaron. Which is annoying, because that just means that the podcast host, while she was doing post-production, probably went and looked at all of Jessie Lee's social media. I don't think her Facebook's up anymore. Did that ever get sorted out? I think it got removed and then, like, probably never came back. But, yeah, she's like, I gotta go research this girl now, and then just went to Jessie Lee's, like, content. You know, you're gonna get the real story if you listen to anyone other than Jessie Lee. Quite frankly.
But her last TikTok she shared, she did like a montage of goodbyes, not knowing. And it's honestly, it's really beautiful because it's just her. It's just her being silly, and yeah, it's beautiful.
Is that your favorite thing that she left, as far as like a video or anything? Because I can have Kenna, maybe we can get Kenna to put it at the end of this, like in memory.
Oh, so she has an editor who did that? Okay, so maybe I don't have to blame the podcast lady host too much.
Oh, you should.
Her.
It's beautiful. It's very silly. It's just her signing off. And it was her last TikTok ever.
And
So
she
I
had no
think-
idea.
Nope, none of us did. Yeah, it's beautiful, and I think that that's perfect because it's really just a testament. Just
Right.
be yourself. Try to feel a little joy, and
Yeah, Hannah, I don't know how anyone else can look at that like final TikTok and think that it's, I mean, beautiful, I guess, in a kind of like macabre way. Oh my god, my mouth. It's dark. It's dark when you look at it. But I mean, sure, like some dark shit can be beautiful too. I agree. But I think all of us here can admit that like it's more haunting than anything. Like it's very, I wouldn't, like, beautiful is not the word I would use to describe that last TikTok. But it is weird if Jessie Lee's the one who posted that, because I thought that like Courtney had access to her socials and stuff and maybe posted that after she passed away. I don't know. Why'd she say goodbye if she didn't realize she was dying? That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, did she post that or was that Courtney? You know? I don't know. She called it silly. I know how to say macabre. It's just like my mouth couldn't say it because way was the word coming after that. But it showed a woman still in denial about her upcoming death. Yeah. Jessie Lee knew and she didn't want her following to know. Well, that's the thing is that, so she had, and I think I talked about this on the last stream, but she had some text messages that were leaked after her death, that like her final messages that she sent to this person and that person. There was like a trend thing for a minute there that all of her followers were just like, oh, this is the last message she ever sent to me. And like a lot of them were of her, well, I don't want to say a lot of them, like one or two of them at least were her saying like, the doctor says I don't have time left, like I'm scared, I don't want to die, like that kind of stuff. Like I really truly believe that she did not think that she was going to die. Period. I don't think she knew, even up until the last moment. Like, never mind. Because what I was about to say gets more into like, I don't know, some of the shit I know that I probably shouldn't know that I don't think has been said publicly. But like, yeah, her last few days were, from what I understand, very intense. But at that point, like, she wasn't on social media anymore. Like, that was all something that she experienced. I don't even know if you could say she experienced it because she wasn't awake for most of it. But like, yeah, it's just wild.
the rest is gonna fall the way it's supposed to fall.
Where it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way to leave this.
Yeah, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
It was so.
Oh, yeah, she designed what? No, she died from cancer, but like, when cancer ends somebody's life, it's like in Jessie Lee's case, she went septic, and I think they were saying she had like kidney failure, or like her organs were failing. So you could technically say like, oh yeah, she died from organ failure, but what caused that organ failure? It was because she had stage 4 cancer. It was attacking her organs, everything started failing, and she passed away. Sepsis happens when there's an infection that gets into your bloodstream, you know, and then it kind of spreads through the rest of your body and you die from it. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff you could say is a complication from cancer, and that's ultimately what killed her, but the cause of all of those complications was the cancer. She died from cancer, period. It doesn't matter what these fucking people say. Afterwards, she was saying, like, her, like, Courtney and Kelsey, fucking Kelsey Ray had a lot of videos like, we don't even know what took her from us. Yeah, we fucking did, Kelsey. Like, please. But yeah, there were a lot of people spreading all that misinformation saying it wasn't cancer. Nope, she died because she had a kidney infection or some shit. It was her kidneys that, because then there was like a whole thing where she was in so much pain towards the end, and she was telling everyone it was a kidney stone. And I'm like, girl, that's no kidney stone. I mean, kidney stones hurt. I've had 2 of them, but like, I thought I was dying. That shit's very, very painful. But what she was going through was not a kidney stone. Maybe she did have a kidney stone, but it was like on top of her having the ascites or whatever, the fluid buildup and cancer attacking all of her organs and shit like that. It's painful. So no, the there was so much misinformation. I'm not a doctor. I wasn't there with her. I don't think I need to be a doctor or have needed to be in the room with her to know what the fuck happened. Like, at that point, please. Anyway, you've had 3 kidney stones? Yikes. I'm sure I'm not at my... Well, I don't know. The only time I've had kidney stones is when I was pregnant or after, like, right after a pregnancy because I was taking so many fucking Tums because of the heartburn. But I'm not having any more kids, so maybe I won't have any more kidney stones. I don't know. Yeah, Tanya, thank your lucky stars, because I'll say kidney stone, my first kidney stone, I would say was like on par with, if not even maybe even a little more painful than like being in labor. And you know all about that. So they're awful. They're so bad.
Amazing. I mean, we have to definitely have you back on down the road too, just to see where you're at.
I would love that.
Why? No one cares. I'm being mean. I'm sorry. Someone cares about Carissa. People care about Carissa. Yeah, you're a light in this world, Carissa. But who the fuck wants to listen to another podcast of Carissa talking about herself? Like, we're here to listen to her talk about Jessie Lee, honestly. But if she's just going to show up and be like, here's what I'm doing, I'm acting now. No one cares. That's boring. But all right. Sorry.
Do big things.
Oh, girl, Megan, let me tell you about how Tums cause kidney stones. Yeah, because it's they're calcium tabs, and like when you take a lot of them, your kidneys don't filter it out very easily, and they just, yeah. Both times when I was pregnant with my son, I had the kidney stone while I was pregnant. It was awful. And the first one I had was like 6 or 8 weeks after I had my daughter because of all the fucking Tums I was taking. But yeah. Yup.
Thank you. I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah. And you always have her with you.
Absolutely.
You know, you'll always have that little voice telling you.
Oh yeah. I mean, she wakes me up sometimes because I'm, in my self-doubt and
right.
all the darkness is consuming me. And then she's like, what are you on about?
Right.
See, that's the stuff where I'm like, Carissa, this is not a healthy coping mechanism because that is not reality. It's just not. If you're hearing voices in your head, you need to go see a professional. Like, that's... At the worst, it's like a medical issue that you need to have figured out. At least it's delusion, like you're just making that shit up in your head. That's not real. I'm sorry. Point blank period. It's not real. Okay.
And that's how she would speak to me. She'd be like, why are you worried right now? And I'd be like,
what are you doing?
I'd be like, I don't know. And then she'd be like, okay, so stop. And then we'd figure it out. And,
Carissa, that is your conscience. That is the back of your head. Sorry. That's the back of your head. That is your inner dialogue. No, it's Jessie Lee. Her spirit is talking to me and asking me why I'm stressing out. Like, no, it's not. You people need to calm down.
I have to figure it out myself now, but I do. I hear her voice. I still hear her voice. Like if I'm thinking of her or I feel like she's saying something to me, it sounds like her. And I feel like that's just because she's that powerful.
I mean, that's what we could all hope for, that we leave something like that behind. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a coping mechanism.
I really did. I was not myself for...
Yeah, it's her thoughts. It's her inner dialogue. Like, and it's crazy because, like, and I to a certain extent, I can't hate on this because, like, I used to be super religious and I used to believe, and I think this is part of why, like, it took so long for me to realize that I actually didn't believe in any of this shit, was because I would confuse my own inner dialogue with God. I'd think it was God talking to me. It's just my subconscious, dude. It's just, and not everyone has an inner dialogue too. One of my best friends was like, it's weird that you have an inner dialogue and you can hear stuff and like, I'm like, yeah, like I hear, there is a voice in my head that like narrates everything I fucking do. But it's not like schizophrenia or anything. It's just an inner dialogue. I don't know. I think a lot of people have that. But before I started deconstructing from Christianity, I thought it was God. I thought it was God guiding me, giving me advice, telling me what to do. Nope. it was just my own brain doing confirmation bias, basically. And it took me a while to realize that. But I think that's what you're experiencing, Carissa. I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. But maybe talk to a professional. A secular professional. You know, secular therapy might be really good.
Almost a decade. Yeah.
And now here you are.
Here I am. Sorry, everybody else.
Don't know what to tell you.
There was a lot of people who were probably really happy when I was in my dark ages.
Well, they can just keep on hating, girl. Let them hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us have ever hated on Carissa. I've never seen any singular person talk any shit about Carissa. Until now, I guess. Because she wanted to go off and delusionally just lie about Jessie Lee. But all right.
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, you're awesome. You're awesome.
Thank
Just
you.
keep going. Keep going. Keep doing it.
Thank you. You too. I
Thank you
can't
for
wait
coming
to
on. Yes.
Thank you. I can't wait to see all that you do and grow.
Me too. Never know. Every day's different, right?
Exactly. I never set limitations. Like
Yes.
some people are like, so what do you want to do once you do that? I'm like, I don't know.
The hate
know.
begins
I'll come
now.
up with 15 different things by
Hannah.
then. I don't know. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, honey. Well, I appreciate you. And I know there's a lot of people that will take something from this.
Good. I hope so. Thank you so much.
Thanks
It's
for
so
coming on.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hello, how are ya? It's Jessie Lee, and welcome to this episode of Jessie Lee Heals Holistically from stage 4 colorectal cancer.
Yeah, so this is her last I guess this must be her last TikTok, but this was but where she was before. Did she even get to go home to Dallas to see her dogs one last time? I think she did, right? I don't remember, but this was the hotel room. So like right behind her is the bed where Aviram would sleep in, and like right next to that is like a recliner, and that's where she would sleep because she was in so much pain she couldn't lay down. I understand what people say when they say, like, Jessie Lee didn't look like a sick person. You'd never know she was sick because she does have a lot of energy. She's wearing makeup, you know, like. Oh, wow. I'm looking at her, though, and, like, her face is, like, a normal color, but doesn't her neck look more yellow? Like, she was, I'm telling you guys, this was, like, a week before she passed away, and that's what's really wild about it. Like, it happened really fast, but I do understand when people say, like, no, she didn't look sick, she didn't act sick. She didn't. But she was, you know.
I'm your host, crazy cool Jessie Lee. What? Okay, so in all seriousness, I only picked this person's comment because they are saying something about the results or whatever. So I have no idea what they're talking about a biopsy. There's nothing to biopsy. So
there's nothing to biopsy. She said she had tumors. Like, I mean, they weren't biopsying, but she, like, the way she said that, it made it sound like, oh, I don't have any cancer. There's nothing, there's no growths anywhere to biopsy. What? Like, I don't know.
hello. I am coming to you live from California, and I just wanted to tell you my doctor called after 8 days today to give me my PET scan results. And if you've been following along, you might have noticed that maybe I'm not posting as frequently. A large portion of that is that I'm in pain. I've been talking a lot about it in my Instagram stories, and I think I've talked about it on some TikToks here, but my stomach hurts here. I feel super distended. My kidneys, they feel fine right now. I took Tylenol about 2 hours ago. But they hurt. When I sleep, I don't really sleep. I flop and I flip like a fish all night long. I'm getting like 3.5 hours of sleep, which is not good for recovery, so I'm freaking out. I don't have my dogs in California, which is a crime. And anytime I travel, I feel so out of tune, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so used to having my juicer and my regimen and my clinics I go to and whatever, and I'm here in California for treatment. I'm not like partying, but I feel like I don't have everything that I need, even though I have everything I technically need. Make sense? So anywho, this is week 2 of treatment out here straight, which means not my dogs, which depresses me. But my doctor finally called today after my PET scan last Monday. Today is Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, if you're watching this.
Okay, September 5th. She passed away, I want to say the 16th. Let me double check. What day did Jessie Lee Ward die? September 16th. So this was 11 days before she died. Like, I can totally understand people saying, like, yeah, like, this person's gonna be dead in less than 2 weeks. Like, you wouldn't see, I could totally, you know, anyone who maybe wasn't following so close and knowing, like, all the shit she was going through, you wouldn't look at her and be like, oh, she's about to be on her deathbed, you know? So I get it. I understand why people say that. But ultimately, she was just really, really good at faking it.
And
it is haunting.
And I think part of me is still in shock. So I don't know if that's like normal for cancer people's. You guys will have to tell me in the comments, but like, I'm gonna cry again. I can feel it coming. But I've cried like on and off about it. But like, even when I was on the actual phone with the oncologist, and I have visualized this to be something where like, anytime I get good news, I like burst out in tears, and it didn't happen. But I will update you. So I got really good news today, everybody. So my doctor called me and he said that many of my lymph nodes have gone back to their original size with no evidence of disease in them. The ones that still remain have decreased in size. There is no mass on my right ovary anymore. That is literally gone, so praise God.
Wasn't that a thing where, like, didn't she say she, like, felt it explode or something? Like, that was a thing. She's like, suddenly, like, this mass, like, it hurt so bad, and then the pain was gone, and then she's saying it's gone. Like, I don't know. I remember that was a thing. Yeah.
And he says, just schedule another PET scan in about 6 months. I'll see you then. If you don't know, and you're new to this channel, I was told now that I have less than 30 days left to live. And I was just told by my traditional oncologist at Texas Oncology, who reads my scans and orders my scans for me, I don't know, see you in 6 months. Like,
well, yeah, with hindsight, looking back on this, it's obvious that that guy was just being like, essentially, like, if you're still around in 6 months, I'll see you in 6 months, you know? Like, I think she misread this. Which, you know, if it gave her comfort at the end, fine. It's just another brick on the building of delusional, you know? Like, it's just, like, more shit that kept her believing until the very, very end that she was fighting all this off. And it's just... That's also true, Melissa. She was so inconsistent with her story. Who knows what's true and what's not? Yeah. She passed before then. As we know, Gary Vee was a speaker. Carissa attends the September 23rd conference. Jesse's boyfriend, Aviram, and Dan Fleshman. I don't know who that is. I wonder what really happened there. Surely it wasn't like that in reality. I think, honestly, I think what happened, I'm sure the doctor said, all right, we'll schedule out for another 6 months or whatever. But if he's just reading the scans and, like, literally just being like, here's what I see you in 6 months, basically, like, at this point, that oncologist was not, like, her regular, he wasn't providing any care for her. He was just doing the scans and telling her what he saw. That's what my understanding was. Because she said she didn't want to do all the traditional, or the modern medicine stuff, but she did ask one of the oncologists, like, if I, like, can I still come see you for scans and you can give me, like, scans and stuff? And I think that's the arrangement they had worked out. I'm pretty sure. I don't think the onco told her that, yeah. I hate saying this, but I truly miss her energy. Hated her scamming, but her energy is magnetic. I agree. I always felt like that. Like, anytime I ever covered her, people would, like, comment and be like, oh, I can't stand her, da da da. I'm like, I kind of like her because she's loud and obnoxious, and so am I. So, like, I felt like more, like, kind of magnetically attracted to that kind of energy, you know? I feel like I always have. I mean, there's a fine line between, like, loud and obnoxious and still, like, fun to be around, and then loud and obnoxious and just, like, shut the fuck up. But I never really got that from Jessie Lee. It was always just, like, I don't know. I did appreciate her energy, but I know there are a lot of people who don't see it that way.
Like, I'm in shock. I should be bawling again for the 15th time right now. Like, wow. So all of this is working. All this holistic stuff is working. I do look healthier. I thought I looked healthier, but now it's confirmed. I do notice my hair growth is crazy. My nails have grown a lot. I just think I was so scared because I was in so much fucking pain. So, cancer die-off is a real thing that no...
Yeah, see that, okay, it's not a real thing from my understanding, but so she, towards the end, was in all this pain. She was believing it was because the cancer was dying off and causing pain, and, like, the toxins leaving her body or whatever, and she's gonna be on the upswing after this, and it's like, I'm serious, like, she believed this shit till the end. It wasn't cancer die-off, it was literally just cancer. It's just so sad.
No one really talks about when the cancer cells die, they get angry, apparently. So I'm experiencing some anger in my stomach and back regions. But that's about it, my cancer-free friends. So I'm not yet at no evidence of disease. That is obviously the goal, but this is a huge milestone, big mile marker. I feel like I'm rubbing lymph nodes, by the way, for everyone. What is she doing? It's just one of the first days I feel like I can breathe in a really long time. And so that's my update. Do you guys like my non-toxic nail polish? Isn't it so cute? Jess Stoney sent it to me. It's from Senegence. All right.
It's from Senegence.
Bye. Thanks for following. Okay, toodaloo kangaroo. After a while, crocodile. Catch you on the flip side. Sayonara, suckers. Cheerio. Gotta run, buttercup. Bye.
Yeah. So, hey, we finally made it to the end of that. It only took 3 streams to get there. The way Carissa was talking about that last video, being like, watch it, it's so beautiful. I do not see it that way at all. I think that was the most depressing fucking thing I think I've watched in a long time. And obviously, like, I've seen that video before, but it's like, no matter how much time goes by, it's still so haunting. 11 days after that video, she passed away. 11 fucking days. It's not beautiful, to me anyway, to see a human being with stage 4 cancer convincing herself that she is healing, convincing herself that, oh, it's just cancer cells dying. That's why I'm in so much pain. And just... But then it's so sad because, yeah, that last moment of her, like, sayonara, whatever, like, yeah, okay, like, I don't think she did that because she knew she was gonna die. Like, just like Carissa said, she was just being silly. That was her being her. And I think it was. It was. Because Jessie Lee did have moments where she would just be silly like that. I don't think that it was meant to be like, I know I'm dying and this is my last message to everybody. I really don't think that. I can understand why people do. Oh, hi, Pee-Pee! I can understand why people might think that. I think that also might be like kind of a coping mechanism. You know. Anyway, yeah, it's sad to see the denial. It's sad to see someone so hopeful and knowing the outcome. And the outcome wasn't even just like a prolonged period of time later. It was less than 2 weeks after that. Yeah. Yeah, that is a hard watch. Anyway, I'm glad we made it through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the video that I am working on right now. I have to get sponsorship approval on it. And then once I do that, sometimes that can take a few days. And then once I get that posted, or at least sent over to the sponsorship people for approval, I can start working on taking all 3 of these live streams and editing them down so it's all watchable in a video form, and then I'll re-upload it that way. So, yeah. I'm freezing. Am I really freezing? Daffodilly, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I appreciate it. Am I back? You guys have to tell me if I'm back so I can play the song. I don't want to play it if the internet's going out again, though. More Pop-Tarts in the chat. Look at them. I know I'm going to play the song. I just want to make sure you guys can still see me. We good? Okay, I'm just going to play it.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you, Daffodilly. That's so kind of you. I appreciate it. Oh, Pippi, you're stuck to my shirt. Oh, God. Okay. Thank you. Look at all those Pop-Tarts in the chat. I love it. All right. Yeah, so new video will probably be out hopefully by the end of this week, and then I will get to work on doing a full summary of the past 3 live streams. Good Lord. But, yeah, Dancing Pippi, I know. Hey, it was really... hello, DC, we're about to get off here. But hi, hello. You'll have to catch the replay. Yeah, no, I appreciate you all being here and putting up with all my bullshittery because it took me so long to just get this out. It's been so frustrating. But at least we're back and everything's good now. Thank you, DC, for trying to troubleshoot with me that one time. No one could help me, though, because it was my ISP. But, you know, it's fine. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And, you know, I guess I'll just... see you all when I see you with a new video, hopefully within the next few days. Okay, bye.